Okay, welcome everybody. So, this is our ethical marketing intro. It's down for 3 hours, but I think 2.5 is probably enough. So let's say maximum 3 hours today. I've been noticing people are getting Zoom fatigue. So yeah, why don't we start with the happy slides? If you've never been to my workshops before, you won't know about the happy slides, but they're potentially the best part. If at any point you get depressed, you can just ask for the happy slides and we will give you the happy slides back. Okay, let's do some practicalities. So Steve, do you want to say hello, mate? My assistant today.
G'day everyone.
This is Aussie Steve. If you have tech issues or various things about Zoom, you could try and message him and he'll be amiably, casually Australian about it, no doubt. So you may recognize him from the Embodied conference and one-day events. We'll probably take a break at some point in the middle. This is being recorded, so it's not confidential, but if we do breakout rooms, we probably will. That will be confidential. There will be some experiential stuff. You are not watching fucking television, okay? So what this is not is like sitting there like a consumer watching the monkey dance on the screen for you. This is an active, interactive workshop. If you don't want to do that, you're in the wrong place. If it's also not obvious by now, if you believe in the concept of being offended, you're probably in the wrong place too. I would like to drop some, Louise Gardner loves it. Look at her, she's like, yeah, authenticity, yes. I'm gonna drop some truth bombs on you motherfuckers. And it might hurt a little bit. It might not be polite. It might sting a little bit, but it's gonna be good for you. If you wanna learn about marketing, this is gonna be good for you. If you cannot handle that, if you need a safe space, go to an American university. You won't get it here, okay? If you need to be coddled and to be taught to like a little baby. Like if I meet a 5-year-old that's been abused or something, I'm really nice to them. I'm not gonna be like that with you. I'm gonna assume you're grown-ups that can handle grown-up shit. So some of you have just turned off, that's okay. I might not be your style. This is gonna be fairly full on for the next 2.5 hours or so. If it gets too much, you can always turn it off. Feel free to stand up and let's all have a stretch actually before we do anything. I'm in a standard Zoom outfit of tracksuit bottoms and a shirt. Ugh. Have a move, have a stretch. You don't have to sit down, go to the loo whenever you want. Take it easy like Laura in a hammock. That's the life, Laura. Oh, look at that. That looks like how you live. I'm well jealous. Okay. Some other practicalities today. What else to say? I don't mind if you're stretching or cooking or looking after your children. Please don't be on the phone or emailing. It's just rude. I'm going to give you 100%. If you can't pay at least some attention, then bugger off. Watch the recording, pay your money. But that is the basics. Okay. Let me find out a bit about you. How are you today? Can you tell me how you are? If you haven't changed your address, please change your name so it includes your city, so I know where you are as well. Out of 10, how are you? 10 is like the best you've ever been. 10 is like, what would be a 10? You're in heaven receiving oral sex from a team of, no, I don't know, just wonderful. 10 is like the best thing ever. 0 is like you're being tortured right now, like you're being sawn in two by bandits. So where are you today? 10 is the best, 0 is the worst. 0, oh dear. 5, okay. 4, that's not great. 10, what right do you have to be in a 10, Laura, in your hammock? Okay. If you're 5 or below, I'm going to advise you don't do this workshop today, okay? You can get the recording, you can watch it another time. If you're 5 or below, you really just need to go for a walk, call your mum, eat some ice cream, have a bath, like look off genuinely, because I want to be like quite full on today. And if you're really like just needing self-care, that might be a good choice. Okay, those of you who are sort of 5 or below, that is really, this might not be the best place for you. Those of you who are at 9, let's try and get that down a little bit, you smug gits. Okay, what do you do for a living? Actually, let me first of all, put in the chat a J if you have a job, an S if you're self-employed, okay? Or a U if you're unemployed. Yeah? Mostly self-employed. Okay, I'm assuming, yeah, it looks like most of you are self-employed. So a lot of what I'm going to say is mostly going to apply to self-employed people. And if you're unemployed, that's fine. You can upskill for a later point, right? You can learn some things that'll be useful later. So that's no problem at all. I have been there, so there's no shame for me in saying you're unemployed right now. I've been there. Yeah, yoga instructor, that's basically unemployed, isn't it? Almost, it's borderline, yeah. Okay, let me find out what you do for a living. Let's see if Steve knows how to do a poll or not. Steve, I just threw this at you. Did you work it out, you clever bastard?
It appears that it's not enabled on Zoom, but I've created an online one.
Check it out. Okay, Steve, do you want to share the screen and show how that works? How does it work? So we go to the link. Everyone click on the little linky thing.
Linky thing.
Check it out. And can you put one thing, or we have to put just one thing? Yeah.
Yeah, only one thing at the moment, unfortunately.
Where is Dolphin Trainer?
Other.
Okay. So please vote now. And if you press next, you'll start to see the results coming in. And if it's other, please put it in the chat. Someone has said, I like the balls. I know what they mean. Most of you don't, and I'm not going to explain it. No, there's an online system that uses balls that fly in, and this is something we use on some of our other webinars. Facilitator goes under trainer and coach. Okay, let's put that coach, trainer, facilitator. That's all the same thing. I know it's not exactly, but let's see what you guys do for a living. Lots of coaches and trainers. 20% therapists here. Oh my God. I think it's time I started talking about my mum, isn't it? Did you know my mum was a nun? When my therapist found that out, he practically rubbed his hands together. He was just like, yeah. Okay. Okay, good. So this gives me a bit, this is quite useful for me, jokes aside, to sort of get a sense of you guys. So this is pretty useful. Okay, good. Aims of today. What are we doing? Counseling, conflict resolution, talent scout. Awesome. Okay, cool. This is the aims of today. If you've come for this, you're in the right place. Who is there anyone in the chat who's got like a marketing, like MA or official qualification? If you have, this might be a bit basic for you. I have got no official qualifications other than my life and a little bit of thought. So the reframe is really key. We're going to reframe what marketing is for you. This is going to really help a lot of you. This will really help. Yeah, practical tools, stuff around the current climate, and I intend to have a good time. A little practical thing, don't be a dick. So particularly when you do a free workshop, sometimes people will come with either not committed or with an attitude of like, I know everything already. And that's rubbish, because it's just annoying and you won't learn anything and you'll waste your life and you'll be 3 hours closer to your death and you'll have wasted your time and mine. So how would you be sitting right now if you were genuinely engaged and open for learning? Andy and Robin are like on the edge of their seat. Look at them. They're like ready to go. These look like people who are about to study something. Yeah? How would you be in your body, right? I'm the embodiment guy. That's my thing, right? How would you be in your body? You could be relaxed, Laura. It's okay. You can be relaxed. Relaxed and engaged is allowed. Yeah? As opposed to, how would you be if you were just like, I know this already, totally closed, totally cynical? Maybe the arms crossed, the head comes back, the weight goes back. Okay. Some of you, that's your default. Yeah. Notice that. My Slavic friend Ranko is smiling right now. It's partly cultural. Yeah. This cultural stuff around learning. Like whenever I'm in Israel, everyone always argues with me the whole time. First I took it personally, then someone told me, no, it's just Israelis. So, okay, so frame yourself, move your state into a way that will be helpful for your learning today, because I actually really love this topic. I'm passionate about it. Weirdly, it might become less weird as you figure out what the topic is. And I'd love to get that across to you today. Okay, maximize your learning. Yeah, so it's interesting. We can talk about some fairly taboo topics. Money is quite a taboo topic. We'll be talking about money, talking about marketing, sales, these can be quite taboo topics. And, you know, like this was actually spray painted on the wall a few hundred meters from my house. It's like a devil, a business devil, you know? Like many of you may have an image of like business or marketing or money like that, right? Just give me a nod if that's sort of part of the mix for you. Yeah, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't at least part of the mix, I would say. If you were, money's great, business is great. I fucking love capitalism. Say the word money out loud. Just say the word money in your first language, money.
Money. So.
Out loud, not to everyone, just yourself. You know what? Let's unmute everyone and all do it together. Let's make the mistake. Let's make them birds. So, Steve, money.
Soldi.
Marketing. So just yourself without unmuting. It wasn't clear before. Say marketing to yourself or business. Who opens and relaxes like you were in love on a spring day and you were tuned into David's brain sensing device and been meditating for 2 hours? David Lowenfels is here, has a prana wave device. And who contracts a little bit? Just give me a wave. Who has some kind of tension or contraction? Okay. The good news is that's normal. The bad news is that's fucking you up and we need to fix it. Okay. So there's good news and bad news. It's very common. Pretty much all my students have it. And to greater or lesser degrees. And slightly different flavors of it will come up to as well. And this is something that can really get in the way for people. And as I said, you know, I grew up, let me tell you a bit about my life story, just so I can sort of say where I come from. So I grew up in a rural kind of blue collar area, East Anglia. It's like Kansas or Alabama or somewhere. If you're from America, it's pretty rural. Everyone's cousins, lots of violence and hard drugs. My parents were kind of hippies though. They were like school teachers. And they basically gave me the impression that money was bad. And they gave it to me quite subtly, like business, like someone would go by in a car, in like a Mercedes, for example, like a smart car, and they'd like roll their eyes or make a noise, and my dad would say he had a small penis. Or there'd be some sort of insinuation that if anyone was making money, they were, you know, probably a bad person. Did anyone have that growing up? You might have had a different story growing up, a different one. It's a very interesting case. So you ask yourself, what did I learn about money growing up? Actually, why don't we do that now? Enough about me. Just in one sentence, what did you learn about money growing up? In the chat. Like when I say learn, I don't mean someone sat you down and lectured you, but they gave you the impression that it was dangerous somehow, that it was scarce, or maybe the opposite, there was plenty of money. Who grew up with socialism? Oh, you're really fucked. Okay, money's scarce. It's not enough. It's hard to make. You have to work hard, maybe was the thing. You had some story. If you don't know what that was, what's the image that comes up from your childhood when you think money? I think of my mum and dad on the, you know, talking around the kitchen table and worrying with bills in front of them. Some sense of scarcity. Also very private, you know. I'd say, Mum, what's going on? You know, she said, oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's very private. Actually, I give this example sometimes. I was at a Buddhist festival sitting around a campfire naked with 10 of my friends. And I said to them, I said, when was the last time you had sex? And we went round. Someone said yesterday. Someone said 4 p.m. Lucky person. Someone said last year. Someone said last month. And I said, oh, okay, great, great. And they all told me just like that. No big deal. We're all liberal. You know, we're all at the Buddhist festival. We're all hanging around the campfire naked. It's all good. And I said, oh, how much money is in your bank account? No one told me. Silence. I said, look, I'm not going to judge you. I said, I've worked with some of the richest people in the world on ski resorts in Switzerland. And I've worked with Brazilian and Ethiopian street kids. And I tell you, both okay. Much of them, not sort of superior either way, really. Just sort of humans. Some of them were poorer, some of them were richer, but they're all right. I saw differences, but I can't say I saw one was better. So I said, listen, I'm not going to judge you. How much money is in your bank account, you know? I've been around the richest, I've been around the poorest, you're probably somewhere in the middle. And notice what happens in your body now if I say to you, I'm not going to ask you to do this, but if I did, who would be willing to type in the chat the amount of money they have in their account? Or here's another one. Let's do a little experiment. I have a mobile phone app for my bank. I'm with a terrible bank that I need to change. Who would like to see how much money I have in my current account right now? So notice what's going on in your body and in your mind. Some of you are like, oh my God, it's like I'm getting my dick out, right? It's like really personal. Others of you are like, yeah, it's no big deal. Like in America, people are like, how much do you earn, man? I'm like, it's not a good business. It's partly a cultural thing, this, right? Okay. Like the first time someone just asked me straight my salary in the United States, I was shocked, you know? Also, what do you think of me? Like, how much money should I have? Like, what would be the perfect amount? Because if it's too little, I'm a loser. If it's too much, I'm greedy. You know, insert whatever words you have here, you know. So what would be like perfect for me to have? I'm teaching a thing on marketing. I should have something, right? Am I really going to show you? Do you want to know? And if I do show you, does that mean I'm showing off? Does that mean I'm humble bragging? What's going on in your head right now? Okay, so I'm happy to show you. It's not a particular secret. I have £13,000 in my current account. I can tell you about my minimal savings if you would like to know as well. And my business accounts, there's some business issues around showing you that. So I won't show you the business accounts, but that's how much money. Okay, so just notice what happened in your head. By the way, I've done that exercise when I've had £5 in my bank as well on different days of the week. Cool. So what went on for you there? Nothing, some judgment, some like pride. Isn't he brave? Is that good? Is that bad? Do you think of me differently now? You know, if I said I had £1 million of savings, would you think of me as differently than if I said I had 0 savings? Watch out for the spiritual bypass here. No, I think of all people equally. Really? Really? Come on. Okay. Okay. So some of you are kind of going, okay, is there something to learn here? In the same way as we can be, who's heard of sex positivity? Give me a wave. Okay, so sex positivity means your attitude towards sexuality is that anything a person does with themselves or other people consensually is not a bad thing. Okay, so it's like if me and Steve want to have sex, have a threesome with a willing dolphin, as long as me, Steve, and the dolphin agree and no one's getting hurt, it's all safe sex, it's all good. That's our business. Okay, so that's sex positivity. So this is basically, you know, starting in the 60s, and now we're looking at consent and trauma and kind of getting up to speed with it. You can think of this as money positivity as well, right? Is it possible to be a bit more money positive in that way? Yeah. No cruelty to the animal. No, it will be a consenting dolphin. Okay. Have we hit bestiality already? We've been here 19 minutes. Guys, what is wrong with you lot? What is wrong with you? 19 minutes. Okay, back to my life. So I thought that it was very noble to have no money. So I studied psychology at university rather than a proper subject like business or something. And I then spent a lot of time going around the world doing Aikido, living in dojos. I was poor, but I was noble. You know, I was like the Karate Kid, painting the walls for the sensei and, you know, living off bad food. And eventually I worked with kids in outdoor education. Again, I was poor, but I was helping the kids. I was noble. And then I did some worked in peace work, humanitarian work. That's in Africa with my friend Meshu in Ethiopia, I think. Yeah, Ethiopia. Again, I was noble. You know, I was doing something good. I was following my heart, which is still a good thing, I'd say. But I didn't have any money. And eventually I sort of washed up and I was ill. I was tired. I found myself like back in my mum's house at like 27. I was just like, what am I doing? You know, I wasn't happy. I was burnt out. It had health consequences for me having no money. I was addicted. That's another story. And eventually I cleaned up my act and started a business. So that was me in the early days of my business, in my first suit that I got for like £100 from Marks and Spencer, I think. And it was really weird for me wearing a suit. It was really strange. Like, it just felt like the weirdest thing. I didn't have any smart shoes and shirts. I had to buy shirts. And I felt like I was a faker at first. Like, I was working with business people. I was really working with business people, but I was resenting them. Like subtly, I noticed that I was like subtly looking down on them. Like, you're not very spiritual. You're not good people, you know? and they felt it. They felt it and they didn't like it, which is fair enough. No one wants to be judged. No one wants contempt, right? Okay. The other thing I noticed is I started with it, the first couple of years were quite hard. You know, if you start a business, you basically have to work really hard and be poor for 2 to 3 years, usually 3. So if some of you are thinking of starting a business, work really hard, probably be poor, might not work. Okay, that's the deal. All right, that's the deal. If you're going to start a business, work really hard, you're going to be really poor, and it might not work at the end of it. Yeah, but big bonuses if you can. However, what I noticed is after a few years, I started to make good money because I was doing corporate work and, you know, corporate leadership, and you started getting paid like $2,000 a day and stuff like that. I was like, wow, this is great. You know, my dad never got paid that much money to work in a school. This is fantastic. And my parents couldn't believe me when I told them, you know, corporate rates. But what I noticed is I spent all my money straight away. And after 5 years, I was earning quite a decent salary, maybe like what a junior doctor would be earning or something. And I went to my accountant and they were like, why don't you have any money? Why are you always in your overdraft? Why are you still in debt? You know, I told them I've got student debt, I've got this debt. And I said, I don't know. I just sort of gotten used to it. Like in my body, that felt normal. And all the money I made, I spent. Right? Like the idea of having £15,000 would have been like crazy, even though I could earn that in a week, right? Doing corporate work. It was nice money. Yeah. So what I realized was I needed to work on the inner side of things. The other thing I had never been taught at school was any of the outer side of things, just business skills. So today I'm going to teach you basics of marketing and business skills. We'll start to look at the psychology, but then there's also just the basics of marketing, which I can teach someone in half an hour, actually. No one had taught me that. Like I'd gone all through school, I'd studied at A level, university level. No one had taught me about a business. And my parents didn't run a business. My sister didn't run a business. Who was I going to learn from? Yeah. So I realized this and I thought I need business people around me. So my mate Tom ran a little internet business. It was a mobile phone technology business. And this was and he was my Aikido friend. And I would just walk home from Aikido with him and ask him questions, really dumb questions about business. Okay. And he'd sort of be patient and explain things to me because he was my Aikido friend and I'd beat him up next week if he didn't, you know? So it was fine. And so Steve, and then at one time I sat in his office. I just sort of sat around watching people. I subscribed to HR magazine. I learned to speak the language of business and talk about KPIs and ROIs and employee engagement and this sort of thing, right? It was like learning a language. And I thought, well, I'll just treat it like a foreign country. You know, like if I go to Croatia to see Ranko, I'm going to learn a bit of Croatian. I'm going to learn a few words. Okay, they're going to eat some weird octopus thing in black ink. Okay, whatever, great. I'll give it a try. You do, don't you? I know what you eat. Okay, yeah. And I'll give it a try. And maybe it's not my food, but I'll try it. And it's not my language, but I'll try it. You know, that's what we do, I hope, when we travel, right? So that's how I looked at it, like learning the language of business. I just looked at it as a language to learn. And gradually I got more and more skills. I read a few books, talked to a few people, and I realized actually it wasn't that hard. Particularly if you're in the business of like yoga, personal growth, embodiment, any of those things, because, sorry, someone's asking me, this is the slow down symbol. Anyone need me to slow down? Steve's asking me to slow down. This is learn the slow down mark symbol. I get a bit intense about this, particularly in the alternative space. You can easily be the one-eyed man in the land of the blind. Yeah. In our industry, people are rubbish at this. You only have to be adequate to earn a living. It's not like we're in a hardcore cutthroat industry. Yeah. Okay. So things grew. I realized I needed to market what I did in order to get it to people that would love it. I realized that it wasn't enough to be good at something. Actually, it's very arrogant to think I'm good at this, that's enough. I realized things like the Embodied Facilitator course or the Foundations of Embodiment. Yes, it's great to have a good course, to be a good coach, whatever, but I needed to get it to people. Also, I realized with the internet, like when we started the Embodiment Conference in 2018, that you could scale things now. You know, there's 150 people on this course. Yeah, I think 500 signed up for it, so probably a bunch will watch the recordings. You can scale things in a way that has never been possible before. Like, this is crazy, you know, like this is actually the smallest call I've been on today. I was teaching 300 earlier, you know, 600 last week. This is a normal thing for me now. We do courses that have 200 people sign up, whatever. The conference, our target for the conference is 1 million people. 1 million. Yeah, we have a plan for 500,000, and the other 500,000 I've got to get creative about. We'll very likely get at least 500,000 people for the conference. So that's incredible that we can reach so many people. Yeah. Why would I want to reach so many people? Is it all greed? Is it egomania? Probably a bit. What else? We're not going to be using Zoom, Sarah. Okay, so if you've got a service you think is valuable, that you think is useful, marketing is letting people know about it. That's all it is. Okay, that is all it is in its purest form. Now, there are corruptions of that. There are people who lie. There are other things we can get into, but in its purest form, that's all we're doing. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. If you care about what you do, if you think give me a wave. Who here thinks what they do is beneficial to people? Just give me a wave. Okay, great. If you don't, why the fuck are you selling it? Yeah? Like, why would you sell something that you thought was bad for people? Like, what's wrong with you, right? So, David's got his Prana Wave app. That's a meditation app that, he knows is good for people. It helps them meditate. It alters their brain waves. He knows it's good for people. He's tried it on himself. He's tried it on them. He's got the feedback. Is it not therefore an ethical thing for him to do to let people know about that? Assume, he's pretty confident in it. He's not lying. He's not fooling himself. He's tested it out. Would that not be an ethical thing for him to do? Now, let's imagine another scenario. Let's say now, instead of letting you know about his device that he thinks is the best on the market and he's proven it and tested it, instead he doesn't tell you about it. Because fuck you, why should he? Is that more or less ethical? Okay, let me give you another example. Who here is hungry? Imagine there's someone that's hungry. Okay, I've got a sandwich. Imagine I said, this is a sandwich. If you've never seen a sandwich before, it was invented by the Earl of Sandwich, true story, and it stops you being hungry for a few hours. This is gluten-free bread, so don't worry, hippies. It's full of tofu or some other disgusting vegetarian-friendly thing, okay? And you can eat this and it will make you feel good and you won't be so hungry. Is that not a kind thing to do? As opposed to, I'm not telling them about the sandwich. Oh, I'm too embarrassed. I'm too spiritual to tell them about the sandwich. What will people think of me if I tell them about the sandwich? I'm really not ready to put myself out there on my sandwich right now. Shut up. Like really get the fuck over yourself. Like, give people the sandwich. You with me? It's just a sandwich. Like, don't make it complicated. If you sell relaxation, yoga for relaxation, if you sell coaching to find life purpose, if you sell conscious dance to unwind and relax at the end of the day and have a nice time with your partner, whatever you sell, it's just a fucking sandwich. Like, get your ego out of it. You're just helping someone with their problem and you're telling them about it. So the first reframe of marketing I'd like you to have is it's just telling people about something useful. Okay? That's all it is. It's all it is. We'll come back to that actually. There's a few other frames. The first thing you need to know, when I say marketing, before this workshop, what is the first word that comes up for you? Just the first thing that comes to your mind. Just be honest in the chat. When I say marketing, boring, ads, sleazy, sales, bullshit, manipulative, invasive, slimy, propaganda, lying, tiresome, pushy. Oh my God, I'm getting depressed reading all that. Nazis. Okay. All right. So most people don't have a positive association with marketing, and it's for good reason. It's for good reason. So on the one hand, the marketplace is part of human nature. Tribal people do this, right? If you have a refugee camp, as soon as people have food and shelter, the next thing they do is start selling stuff. They set up little stalls and start selling stuff to each other. People have been trading for thousands of years. This is a normal, natural thing, hippies, okay? It's not a big deal, yeah? However, in the last 100 years or so, it's been warped. It's become, since Freud and his daughter Anna got involved, it's become I call it Sith marketing. So the Sith marketing is everything you just said. It's lies, it's manipulation, it's sleaziness, it's pushy, it's invasive. Am I missing anything else on the list here? In the chat, what do we not want to do? So if you don't know, by the way, the Sith are the bad guys from Star Wars. Yeah, if you don't know Star Wars, I can't help you, I'm sorry. So go watch Star Wars just now, quit. Okay, they're like the evil magicians, and the Jedi we're going to come to next, they're the good magicians. They're like magician warriors, we could say, yeah? So anything I've missed there? Misinformation, harassment. How about creating fear in people? Buy this bleach product or your baby will get ill, you know, this kind of thing. Yeah, buy this or no one will love you. That's the implicit message in a lot of advertising, isn't it? Buy this or you'll be fat and lonely. You know, that's an implicit message in so much advertising. Okay. Good. Pressure, manipulation. I wouldn't say competition. I'm not against competition. All right. So can we all agree that we don't want that? This is normal human values. The good news is you're not a fucking psychopath, okay? Most advertising is psychopathic. If someone like came into your house and started doing that to you, you'd be like, ew, who are you? What do you want? Why are you in my house? Yeah. The good news as well is people are getting less and less tolerant of this kind of advertising. I was in a cinema the other day, a movie theater, and I was sat next to a group of 14-year-olds. Oh God, okay. And then they're talking. In the adverts came on, the commercials before the trailers. Do you know what I mean? Do you call it that in your country? And these teenagers were literally telling the adverts to fuck off. They were like, fuck off. And these were like adverts that cost hundreds of thousands of pounds to make by teams of advertising executives, and they couldn't even convince 14-year-olds. The average 12, 14-year-old was just telling them to fuck off out loud. Yeah. And then, you know, and I thought, wow, that's really interesting. It gives me hope. You know, the kids are okay. You know, like we're getting harder to fool. If you see have you seen the adverts from the 50s? It's like, buy cigarettes, they strengthen your lungs. You know, it's like, buy this product or your husband will beat you. I mean, it's like, it's really primitive, you know? It's like they've had to get more and more stiff because we've got better and better in tracking it, in realizing it's bullshit. Yeah. We've got an immune system now to this. Okay, so what would Jedi marketing be if that's the Sith marketing? So what's the opposite of all that? If we don't want to be Sith, we want to be Jedi. What would Jedi be? Because you're not psychopaths, you are good people, remember? Sincere, honest, inclusive, authentic, heartfelt, positive. What does positive mean? Genuine is a nice word. Respectful, lovely. This is how you would sell something to a friend. You know, like David, someone I might become friends with. We had a coffee in San Francisco. You know, if I was with David and I said, oh, I've got a car, you might want to buy it. You know, I've got a spare car. Do you need a car? Oh, David, he needs a car. Okay, great. So it's, you know, it's a Mercedes, and you know, it's a little bit temperamental on the gears, but basically it still runs pretty well. And yeah, it's a pretty good family car. It does smell of weed. I don't know why, so you're gonna have to have it cleaned. But you know, I'll give it to you for a fair price. What do you say? Like 5,000? Is that all right? Respectful, honest, checking he's interested. It's a good fit. And David says, yeah, actually, yeah, no, I'm not going to get a European car. I'm going to get an American car. Whatever. Okay, never mind. No big deal. You're cool. Yeah? You might get better value Japanese one. Fair enough, mate. So that's how I would sell to a friend, right? You've all done that before? Have anyone sold a car or bookshelf or something to friends? It's not a big deal, is it? You didn't go, oh my God, dare I sell this car to David? And who am I to sell a car to David? And what would David think of me? And oh, you just said, look, here it is, and do you want it? And is it a good fit for your needs? And there's a fair price. Yeah? You all done that? It's natural. That's a natural human skill. It's a natural human skill. So I'm not asking you to do anything new here. I'm saying, look, get rid of that SIF stuff. Don't worry about that. You don't have to learn that. Let's just go back to like normal marketing. Let's go back to how people used to do it in the old days. You know, it's just pretty normal. So yes, there's always been charlatans and people like that. But most people, you know, in the past were trustworthy with marketing because people lived in small communities. You know, if you rip someone off in the village I grew up in, no one would come to your shop. Make sense? Anyone grew up in a village like me? Being dishonest in a village is a terrible idea. Well, the internet is a village because it's like book reviews on Amazon. Someone gave me a 1-star review on my Amazon. Okay, so Jedi and Sith. Just as an aside, this film is shit. Don't watch it, okay? It's nothing to do with this is just a public service thing. It's nothing to do with the seminar. Just don't watch the latest Star Wars. It's really bobbins. Okay, so another model for marketing rather than persuasion is the fit. So I think of this as like the romance. There's me and Daria, yeah? So when you marry someone or you could date someone, it's not like you're just trying to convince them all the time. You're both checking to see if you're a good fit. Does that make sense? So I don't have to convince anyone. It's just like, well, do you like, you know, men with foot-long prehensile penises, or do you know, like what are you into? Do you like guys who tell jokes, or do you like serious guys? Okay, well, I'm more of a joke-telling guy. You know, like, okay, what is your thing? You know, what do you like in bed? And you work it out. You either talk about it or you find out the hard way. And then you see if you're a good fit. And if you are, you go from the coffee date to the dinner date to the Netflix and chill date to the moving in together to the getting married. That's a natural romance, a natural progression. If you try and push it too quick, doesn't feel good, does it? Okay, if you move in together straight away, not so great. Doesn't always work out so well. Yeah. So again, this is how I think of what some people call like a sales funnel. I think of it as relationship building. Okay. You're building trust. Why is that funny, Simone? It's just relationship building. But it is. Like most of you here are on a first date with me. Some of you are never going to have a second date. That's okay. All right. Some of you, who's on a second date with me? Who's on at least a second date? So you've decided, like Maria in Germany, she's laughing. She's in on the joke. Simone's in on the joke. She's like, yeah, I know Mark's rude. You know, Ayla there is in Israel. She's, you know, some of you I'm going steady with, like me and Ranko, we're pretty steady right now, you know. He's into it. He knows that I'm a good fit. Not a perfect fit, but he knows that he's some value I can offer him. And equally, that he's my kind of customer. So we are filtering each other, right? We are filtering each other. You're deciding if, you know, maybe you want to come to one of my courses at a certain point or whatever, but I'm trying to get rid of some of you. I know that might sound strange, right? But not because I hate you, not because I think you're bad people, but like I often are quite rude at the beginning of one of my workshops because I don't want the offended people to hang around. I want them to go early so they don't get upset later on and write an email to me, you know, and tell all their friends, because that's not my tribe. You know, my tribe are the people that like bad jokes, that don't mind sex references, that know what Star Wars is. Does anyone not know what Star Wars is? Okay. Okay, you're out of the group. No. So that's not mandatory. Okay. So this idea of the fit, both in terms of the vibe, the tribe, you know, this how you do things, but also in terms of what you sell. So we have this course, Embodied Facilitator course. I'm not trying to sell it. You can't get on it anymore. This for next year you can anyway, but not this year. We interview people for that, and Daniela interviews people. She takes an hour to interview each person. She interviews twice as many people as we accept on a good year. Yeah. So we are saying then, look, this is a really tough course. If you're having mental health issues right now, it's probably not the best for you. And it's quite a lot of work. You know, it's about 5-6 hours a week, maybe a bit more. If you don't have time for that, it's probably not for you. Okay. If you have a lot of untreated trauma, if you're easily offended, if you don't have any background in coaching and training, if you don't know what yoga is or meditation is, you're completely new to yoga and meditation, it's probably not for you. We actually have 8 different filters, right? And even then, sometimes the odd person gets through and I'm thinking, oh, why are they on this course? Oh, being open to learning, there's another one. Okay, occasionally someone gets through who just really isn't open for learning, and I just think, God damn it, wouldn't it have been good to know that earlier? They're wasting their time, they're annoying me, they end up, you put all your energy into that one person, then they leave anyway halfway through. Yeah. So the fit model is empowering for sales, but also creates safety for the customer. Yeah, that was the Embodied Facilitator course, just as an example I'm using. Do you see how it's empowering for you when you're selling something? It's like, otherwise you're like the guy who's like, I'll sleep with anyone. I'm desperate. Blonde, brunette, nice, nasty. I don't care. I just sleep with anyone. Like, come on. It's a bit desperate. Have some fucking standards. Normally women are better at this than men because basically pregnancy is expensive and sperm is cheap. There's evolutionary reasons for it. Okay. However, that is something I admire in women. They're often more picky than men. Yeah. Now, being picky as a provider of yoga, coaching, whatever, is deeply empowering. So you're not like, please buy my stuff. I hope you think I'm good enough. I hope you, because I've confused love with sales. And I think if you don't buy from me, you don't love me, and then I'm a bad person. No, instead it's, I'm interviewing you. Yeah. Equally, it's empowering for the customer because you don't have to be pushy. Right? Because you're saying to them, look, it's take it or leave it. If you're into this, great. If you're not, really okay. It's really okay. Yeah, and you're not trying to smash and grab. Where do you think the worst fish and chips in Brighton is? The worst fish and chip shop in Brighton? Have a think. See if you've understood what I'm saying. Where do you think it's located in Brighton? On the pier, yes, right in the middle of town. Why? Because that's where people are. They never have to have repeat business. Yeah. So their business model is just smash and grab. The best fish and chips for years was Mr. Lee's, Chinese guy, just up the hill, tucked away behind the station. You had to know it was there, but people went out of their way to get Mr. Lee's chips. He could have charged double for his chips too, but he did. Yeah. Why? Because people trusted him because he had return customers. The Godfather. Yeah. So the principle here is the fit. The fit. Someone is good for your yoga class. Some people like athletic yoga. Some people like gentle yoga. Some people like yoga with jokes. Some people like goat yoga. You know, there's something for everyone, all right? So, yeah. So it's like, this is what you need. When we come to niching later, you'll need to know this. This is kind of critical. Okay, there's a book I recommend, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Those of you who give too many, who gives too many fucks? Give me a wave. I probably give too few fucks, but giving too many fucks. All right. So the idea here is we can be authentic in marketing. We can be authentic. We're not like a politician that's learned some bullshit gestures. We can actually be real. Because if you're looking for a good fit, part of that fit is your marketing is real to you. Like right now, how different do you think I am than if you were just hanging out with me in a pub? Bit different. I'm at work, you know, but not that different. Now, if you came to one of my courses, do you think you would be like, oh, I never knew he would tell jokes. I never knew he would be rude. I never knew he would speak quickly. No, you wouldn't, would you? You'd be like, well, you know, I knew he was like that from the start. So you know what you're getting. Does it make sense? It's like anyone had this in dating where you're dating someone and they're one way and then a little bit afterwards they're somewhere else. Yeah, they suddenly start, you realize they're not sweet and nice, or you realize that they're not so much of a sex maniac as you thought, and it's disappointing, you know, or whatever. Okay. So that's a problem because you've now had 8 dates and you feel ripped off. You feel disappointed. If they were just like that on date 1, they wouldn't, it's fine, right? Oh, we're not a good match, but you know, good luck. Maybe here's the number of my friend, you know? Once I was outside a gym and there was this girl that was really lovely. I'd seen her in the gym lots of times. I really liked her. And I was leaving that gym. And as I came out, she came out at the same time. And I thought, right, this is my chance. I was going to another gym. I said, listen, I hope you don't mind me speaking to you. I just want to say you look absolutely lovely. I'd love to get to know you. I'm interested in you. And she looked at me and she went, I'm a lesbian. And my heart sank. I said, oh, bugger. And then she said, but my friend Karen is not a lesbian. Can I have your number? And I was like, that was fantastic because I found out straight away that we weren't a fit. Does that make sense? Yeah? So, all right. No one was hurt. So the fit model and authenticity is possible if you have a fit model. In fact, it's desirable if you have a fit model to be authentic because otherwise you get the wrong fit, right? Yeah? Okay, other frames on marketing. Let's reframe marketing for you. Marketing as play. Do I look like I'm having a bad time right now? Like I'm suffering, I'm at work, it's hard. No, because I can be authentic, I can play. Make sense? So I'm kind of tired, you know, it's been a long day, it's a bit hot, but I'm not, this isn't torture to me. This isn't torture. Yeah? So we can, marketing can be a form of play. Those of you who follow my Facebook or watch my YouTube videos or listen to my podcast, that's all marketing for me, okay? It's a form of play. It's a form of creativity. It's not hard work. You can think of business as a kind of tantra. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Well, how to explain this the best? Something that's difficult or that we get attached to naturally that we can learn non-attachment around. So you think sex is difficult. Money's way more likely to create craving and attachment. Yeah. You can actually turn business into a spiritual practice, the practice of generosity. Okay. The practice of listening to your clients. That's so important in marketing. So important. It's the sales skill, actually. Actually, let me turn this around a little bit. Who here is a good listener? Give me a wave. Well, at least good enough. Who here is creative? Give me a wave if you're creative. Who here is brave? Who has some courage or at least can do when they need to? You can do marketing. They are the 3 most important skills for marketing that I just mentioned. Yeah, you have to listen to your client. You have to come up with a creative solution. And you have to be brave enough to have the vulnerability to put it out there. Marketing and business takes tremendous courage. The reason most people don't run a business is because they're cowards. It takes a huge amount of courage to risk your livelihood, not just financially, not just that it's not a guaranteed income like a job. Fuck that, I could never have a job again. Okay. It's that you will be criticized. Every day people tell me I'm an idiot, I'm fat, I'm arrogant, I'm this, I'm that. I've got a bad shirt on. I mean, like you wouldn't believe it. The YouTube comments especially, you would not believe it. Yeah. Every day people will tell you that you're shit and your product is shit. My book has got 60 reviews. I'd say 3 of them are bad and 1 of them scathing. Scathing. Yeah, you cannot make everyone happy. Actually, I had a moment of freedom the other day. Did anyone get my email newsletter where I was just nice to people? I had a moment, I just said, you know what, I hope you're doing okay. It's kind of a tough time. I was just in a nice mood. I didn't really have anything to sell. So I just went, hope you're doing it. It was from the heart. It was just a genuine look. It's a tough time. It's not very easy right now. For a lot of us, I hope you're doing well. That email got 3 hate mails in reply. Now, it did go out to 50,000 people, all right? So it's not a bad ratio. Also had 300 replies saying, thank you so much. That was lovely. You made my day. I was suicidal, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like 300 nice replies, but it had 3 hate mail responses. Literally all I did was be nice to people on an email. And that actually liberated me because I thought, you can't make everyone happy, right? And that was just such a clear example because it was totally from the heart, totally clean, nothing controversial, no swearing, no politics, just a very clean, nice email of, I hope you're well. And I thought, even that, some people hated. Do you see how liberating that is once you really get that? Yeah. The more successful you are, the more that happens as well. So this is why I think many of us are scared of success. You made your self-esteem dependent upon other people's opinions. Yes, David, haters are gonna hate. The rappers have it right. Where does your self-esteem come from? I care what my wife thinks. I care what a few of my friends think. I get feedback from people who are qualified, right? That's fine. Yeah. But you are actually going to get hated upon. You are going to get criticized. Oh, and the other thing that might be scarier for some of you is you're going to get loved. You're going to get adored. Right? I get every day I have Facebook messages saying you're amazing, this blah, 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 you know, this and that. For some of you, that's more scary than being hated. Give me a wave. Anyone got that going on? So imagine, Maria, if we just put you on camera and then every single person on this call, all 145 people, just complimented you for the next hour. Breathe. I'm not going to do it. It's all right, Maria. I'm not going to do it. Your hair does look lovely today, though. Okay. So it's you know, like this is scarier to some people. Yeah. You with me? So there is a price to pay for being in the public eye, and you cannot be private in business. You have to go to the marketplace and set up a stall. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to be Keanu Reeves, right? But you do have to be seen. Being visible is a part of this. Let's practice visibility. Everyone stand up, particularly Maria. Let's take up a bit of space. Another EYP pose. Extend your arms, KB. Wide. Americans are naturally good at this. It's one reason they're better at marketing than British people. 9 times out of 10. Not as funny, let's face it, but better at taking up space. Some of you are transcending. Don't transcend. Stay on the human level. Business is done on this plane, not up here. This is the human level. Can you somatically, embodiment-wise, take up space? Because you're nodding with the theory, but if you can't embody it, then you can't do it. Like, how many people do you want your email newsletter or your Facebook, your Instagram to go out to? Like, I'm on 115,000 now. That's kind of about my limit at the moment. I need to grow into it. I'm like, okay, breathe. By next year, I'll be like, oh, 115,000, whatever, you know. It's very difficult if people get famous quickly. Ali, extend your arms. Not doing this. It's different. Unless you got an injury there, yeah? Okay. How was that? So do you see how this is not just theoretical? There is a practice here, an embodied practice, a spiritual practice, if you will, a psychological, emotional practice, yeah? Okay. So what we've done so far, we've reframed marketing. We've reframed it as the sandwich, letting people know how you can meet their needs, informing people how you can meet their needs. That's a good definition of marketing, ethical marketing. Yeah? Building relationships would be another definition of marketing. Building relationships that may or may not involve a sale. Building a community. Who's good at building relationships? Give us a wave. If you can build relationships, you can do marketing. I'm in the bottom 1% of agreeableness on psychological tests. Okay, and I can just about do it. Yeah. So if you're better than me at agreeableness, and 99% of people are, literally, statistically, you can do this. It's building relationships. Who here likes to be of service? What am I doing right now? I'm much better at service than I am agreeableness. Ranko's probably the only person here lower agreeableness than me. Service. I love to help, you know? Like, here's me with my wife. You want an orgasm? I'll give you an orgasm, no problem. How am I doing? What am I doing? Where do I sign up? What's the job? Okay, right, I'm good to go. Right? Like, I'm a service animal. I'm like a service dog. That's my job. Okay? I'm like, you want a sandwich? I'll get you a sandwich. You're hungry? You want a paracetamol? Like, a headache. Like, we want to help. Human beings want to help. So what I'm doing now is trying to be, yes, I'm showing off, but I'm also trying to be of service to you. That's my aim for today, is to be of service to all 145 of you. Because I know that if I'm of service to you, you'll come back. Also, it's a nice thing, right? It's like there's no contradiction here, yeah, between ethics and marketing. And if I'm helpful to you again, you come back again, and you tell your friends, and you bring them in. And then I'm of service to you again, and you tell your friends. And sooner or later, I'm going to have something you want to buy, right? Sooner or later, you'll be like, oh yeah, I know that guy, I trust that guy, I've got a relationship with that guy. Oh yeah, I'll buy his thing, right? And if you don't, that's still okay. It's because the tantra is the non-attachment. It's still okay. Like giving, it has to be from the heart, the giving. What you'll find is, who here's greedy? Everyone put your fucking hands up. Greed is part of human nature. Some of us are more greedy than others, right? It's like, who here's evil? All of you. Who here's good? All of you, right? Who here, yes, part of you can do terrible things, right? Part of you is greedy. Greed is not something other people have. Greed is a force that exists that will take control of your service and manipulate it into your own ends. You're the Jedi and you're the Sith. You're both. There's a part of you that just wants to be of service and wants to do good ethical business. And there's another part that says, yeah, but if we just lie a little bit, we can get a bit more profit. That part of you is always there. Yeah? And if you think it's not there, oh, you're the ones I'm really afraid of. Really. The ones who think, those of you who think you're all sweetness and light and you have no greed, you're the terrifying ones. I used to deal drugs when I was young. That was my first business. Okay, very good for learning about supply and demand. My lawyer tells me that the police rarely prosecute afterwards, so I can talk about it. The people who were the worst, least trustworthy drug dealers were always the hippies. Always the hippies. Okay, because they thought they would pretend it was like some noble spiritual thing. The people that were just doing it for money were much easier to work with. They weren't serious drugs, don't worry. Didn't kill any kids. All right. How to deal with your shadows. I'm going to look at the chat here. Steve, any chat that I've missed that might be useful?
No, it's all pretty standard here.
All right. Why don't, before we take a break, why don't we go into breakout rooms and give people a chance to discuss it? So we've reframed marketing as the fit, the sandwich, communicating how you could meet people's needs. Any other frames? I've given you the spiritual practice. Marketing and business as a spiritual practice, the best spiritual practice, by the way, way better than yoga and meditation, way better, definitely better than parenting too. I've never tried it, but definitely better than that. Okay. Any other things I've given you in terms of the frame, relationship building, the fit, communicating needs? I think that's about it, isn't it? Play, of course. Okay, so groups of 6 for 5 minutes. How does this apply to you? So making it relevant, the so what. Okay. Hit the button, Steve. Good. Oh, why is it so hot today?
Like a late winter's day in Australia.
The country's too hot and full of snakes. Oh. Kira, I didn't see you there, Kira. Hello, darling. Stay here and chat.
I wasn't going to the breakout room anyway. not feeling it today.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm in Tunisia. I'm pregnant.
Congratulations.
What's happening with me?
I know. How far along?
I'm 5 months.
5 months. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's got to be out of lockdown by the time it comes out.
Hopefully. I mean, the plan was to go back to England to have it, but now I'm decided to stay here. So it's all changed quite a bit.
Everything's changing right now, huh? And does
Yeah.
I think Embodied Yoga is a good middle name, by the way, if you're looking for names for the child. Oh, you're frozen.
Yeah.
Let's take your video off. Anything I can do for you today, Kira?
No, these.
Sorry, it's a really bad line. Kira.
No, I'm in. This is the third webinar. It's the wind. I'm going to close the window. No, this is the third webinar I've done with you during this lockdown. So it's kind of looking into the future after the baby and everything. So just kind of.
No worries. Well, as ever, message me if you need me. WhatsApp's probably the best way.
I will for sure.
All right.
Thank you for this work.
Pleasure. Kira's a long-term Embodied Yoga Principles student, colleague, and part of the tribe. Hello, Vanetta. Would you like to say hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Where is here? Where are you in the world?
Me?
Yeah.
Germany.
Germany.
Or, technically, I'm on my cozy corner with my dog.
Dogs are good, almost as good as cats. Cool. Any questions?
No, thank you so much for bringing some different perspective on marketing for me.
You're welcome. Very straightforward for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm entering a new phase with new business, and I'm still quite lost in how to market.
Well, we could give you some one-on-one advice later on if we have time. If you want to put your hand up later.
Super, thanks.
Anyone else want to say hi? You can put your camera on or unmute yourself. Laurie Darley. Is that Laurie who I met in California ages ago, 15 years ago?
I'll be back in 1 sec. I'm getting help calls from a breakout room.
Okay, we need to end this in 30 seconds anyway. Okay, looks like people are coming back. What did you chat about? Anything good? Talk about the weather. Tina was reminding me that something I often say is that not just is it okay to market, but it's ethically bad to not market. Yeah. So to not let someone know you have a sandwich when you have a sandwich is bloody selfish. Okay. Also, you're letting the Sith win by not marketing. You disempower everyone and just open up that space for people who are lying and manipulative and don't have the actual talents. Yeah. So I would regard it as an ethical imperative to get good at marketing. Make sense? Yeah, it's fucking selfish not to get good at marketing. Really? Like, who do you think you are? Like somehow you're too spiritual for that. It doesn't make sense, right? If you're selling a service which is helping people, why would you keep that secret? I'm not joking. I'm completely serious about this. Yeah? Okay, questions. Tech side, I might speak about later. It's a bit specific for now. Do you want to learn everything you need to know about marketing in 15 minutes before we take a break? It's very, very straightforward. You're paying attention, you're all awake, so make sure we're awake. Give yourself a high five. Hard enough that it stings. Give yourself a tap. Okay. This is everything you need to know about marketing. It's actually a very, very simple process. Steve, can you mute people? There's some background noise. Steve, just do a cheeky mute all. Thanks. Okay, so first thing, why are you doing marketing? Does it come from the heart? Is it value-led? Is it purpose-led? If it's not, people will smell the difference and you will smell like shit. Why purpose-led, heart-led valuing marketing feels that way to people. People can tell that you're sincere, that there's something that you love what you do. So the why is the first part. I mean, I could coach you for a year on that, but that's the first part. Next part, what do you sell? Most people aren't very good at this. What do you sell is the problem you solve, okay? What do you sell is the solution, yeah? It's not always obvious. Let me give an example. Someone coaches parents to help them get their kids to bed, okay? What are they actually selling? What are they selling? Sex, peace of mind, parenting tools. No, not parenting tools. What do the parenting tools get them? An hour in watching TV with their partner, not getting a divorce, having a love life, not going crazy, not hating their child because they spend 2 hours arguing with them every night. You spend 2 hours arguing with anyone every night, you'll start hating them. Make sense? So they're not selling an hour for a love life. Right, that's what they're selling. Yogis, who are the yoga teachers? Give us a wave. What do people get from your yoga class? What? Let's see if you know what you're selling. People are telling you, they tell you all the time, thank you so much. You helped me get this. Thank you so much. I'm going to recommend you because of this reason. But do you know, people are so deaf to this. What are you selling? Ivan, your men's work, my friend from Norway. What are you selling, sir? Can I unmute you?
I'm selling freedom to be yourself, freedom to know yourself, to pursue your calling in this lifetime.
And what does that get people?
They feel at home in their skin. They like themselves. They respect themselves.
Right. Self-respect, I would say, for a lot of guys, until they do purpose-driven work, like I know you can help men to find, they do not respect themselves. Yeah. there's other benefits too, though, right? Like, are men on purpose sexy or not? Can I ask the person next to you?
Hell yeah!
Okay, so that might be another benefit, that a man on purpose is going to attract a partner who's a whole nother level, right? And I happen to know you both, so I think that's probably at work there. Thank you, guys. So if you didn't mind me putting you on the spot. Do you see? So, like, what do you sell? Yoga teachers, what do you sell? Relaxation, even relaxation. Why do they want to be relaxed? What does it mean? That they're not going to get divorced? Does it mean they're a better parent if they're relaxed? Does it mean they can, sometimes I go to yoga to relax so I can go back to work again and work for another 3 hours. I'm sure my yoga teacher doesn't realize that's what they're giving me. I have a massive work drive. You might call that enabling. However, that's what I'm getting from it. Does that make sense? Yeah. It might be that I relax and then I'm not an asshole to my wife in the evening, so I don't get divorced. That's what getting relaxed gets me. Yeah. Peace of mind. Why do you want peace of mind? Why do I want to connect with something greater than my ego? You see, if I can keep asking why, you're not at the what yet, the ultimate what. If I can keep asking, what does that get me? What does that get me? What does that get me? So most of us are too close to our product. They say, instead of telling people benefits, they say features. So you read their handout or their website and it says, get Iyengar yoga because I was trained by Mr. Iyengar. Like, that was a good thing. And I've done this and I've done that. And I'm like, I don't care. I so don't care. Yeah. Does anyone want some brutal, I don't care coaching? Put your hand up if you want some brutal. It's pretty brutal. You sure? Maria, you had your hand up there, I think, first. Are you sure this is going to be pretty rough?
Give it a go.
Okay, tell me about your work.
I'm a facilitator of the work that we connect.
I don't care. I so don't care.
Okay.
Tell me a bit more.
Yeah, let me try again. I help people discover the...
Oh, I so don't care. I so don't care. What is it going to get? I don't care about people, Maria. I care about me. What are you going to get me?
Okay, I help you to understand the connectivity of all life, so you will
Still don't
feel
care.
better.
Still don't care. Why? What would that get? Why do I want that? You're getting better, Maria. Let me just. I'm not bullying you totally. You're getting better.
Thank
Why?
you.
Why do I care about the connectivity of all life? Why does that? Come on.
So it will get you.
On. You need moral support here.
It will get you a sense of purpose. You will live more meaningfully.
Oh, great. Okay, I'm starting to care. What will living more meaningfully get me?
You will feel energized and happy.
I love some energy. I'm always tired. I work too hard. Energy. Now I care. Okay, so if I do this work that reconnects, I'll feel more energized. Okay, so I'm interested now, but she doesn't look convinced. You have to know what you do works, or else you have no integrity. You have to have the trust in it. I'll give you an example. This is water. Water stops you being thirsty. I'm not nervous about giving you water if you're thirsty. Why? Because I've reliably seen this works. Make sense? Yeah. So you need to have that trust in yourself through experience of knowing that the outcome is there, and that way it doesn't feel weird to people. Okay. Can we all give Maria a round of applause for putting herself on the chopping block a little bit there? Well done, Maria. You did great. You did great. And did you see how she was getting closer and closer to the benefits? Yeah, most people, because here's the thing. You're all borderline autistic, particularly if you do personal growth stuff. You're like, I'm into chakras and yoga and I do 5 rhythms and it's a form. I don't care. Your customer doesn't fucking care. Yeah. So what they care about is how you're going to help them get their kids to bed. How are you going to get them laid when they haven't had sex with their husband in a month? How are you going to make them feel energized again in the morning? Like, people don't care about your thing. That's your thing. Okay. Stop being weird and autistic. No offense to autistic people. You need to see it from the other point of view, right? You need to see it from the customer's point of view. Marketing is a practice of empathy. You put yourself in someone else's shoes. One I really like from Tad Hargrave, who's one of my mentors in the marketing world, I've learned a lot from. He says you can sell most effectively to yourself 3 to 5 years ago. I really like this. So it's a problem you had that you've semi-solved. Elena, you're smiling like with that. So like you 3 to 5 years ago, who was that? How are you helping them, right? Yeah? Just because I love the smile. What are you saying?
Yeah, like very insecure and very chaotic in my mind. So what I'm doing right now is to use nonviolent communication to bring coherence and harmony in teams or in individual coaching sessions.
Okay, so you a few years ago, let's say, so a really good niche, and this is the who of who you work with. So what is the benefit or the problem you solve? The niche, we add to that who. So you're in, so for example, I'm just going to make this up. Elena could say, I help young Dutch women who feel chaotic get their feet on the ground and feel good again. All right. So this is a specific group that she might know from her own experience. Now, if she doesn't feel passionate about that group, it's not the right niche. If she's not good about that group, it's not the right niche. So Elena, you
no, but I totally am. Like I have dreams sometimes of talking to myself in the past and actually like
great.
Yeah, pep talking. It's nice.
Right. Wouldn't that be nice? All right. Future you. You can do this as a visualization, actually. You can imagine future you for 5, 10 years in the future. So it doesn't have to be you 3 to 5 years ago, but it needs to be a group that you can talk to. So like, for example, when I'm working with doctors, I have to speak doctor speak. I've done quite a lot of work with humanitarian organizations because I can speak their speak. I have authority and warmth with that group. You need both of those things. Authority is that they trust you based on the fact you have experience, credentials, and you embody that. Yeah, like I didn't trust Maria when she was like sort of going. She was like saying, you'll be energized, I think, right? And I was like, yeah, you lost the authority with me there. She had lots of warmth though. The warmth was I trusted, she had a good heart, and she was, you know, not trying to hurt me or anything like that, you know? So there's the warmth and the power. Maria's got lots of warmth. Ranko has lots of power. Right, so we're all fucked up, just differently, right? So we need to work on one side of the equation or the other. Yeah, I'm just throwing stuff at you here, Maria. I hope you don't mind. Okay, no consent for feedback. Don't ever do that as a trainer. All right, apologies, Maria. So, where was I? Yes, everything you need to know about marketing. The who is the niche. We will come back to that after the break because it's critical. Once you know who your niche is, you know where they hang out. So, where do young Dutch women who are interested in, who are chaotic, hang out? Elena? Or Ivan, where do men interested in men's work hang out? Yeah. Are they on Instagram? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Snapchat? I don't go on Snapchat because my customers aren't 12. Okay. I do go on Instagram because I have yogis as customers and yogis like Instagram. And I do go on Facebook because that's more where my customers are. Yeah, there's certain magazines I would go to, certain conferences I would speak at. Why would I speak at the International Coach Federation conference and not the British Convention of Haberdashers? Because my customers are more likely to be at the Coach Federation, right? So once you know who your customers are, then marketing's very easy. You just have to find where they are. Now, maybe you use hubs or influencers or, you know, people like they can open doors for you. Maybe you go to conferences, maybe you use social media. But I don't want to answer specific questions because once you know who your target group is, you can then find them, right? If you can't find them, you don't have a business. So for example, let's say your business was yoga for chlamydia sufferers, okay? So are people with chlamydia going to come to a public yoga class? And there's a sign on the door saying yoga for chlamydia. Okay, probably not. However, you could do that anonymously online and it would probably get a lot of people. Does it make sense? Yeah, not if you've got chlamydia. No. Okay. Do you understand how that's not a viable business if it has to be in public? Because you can't find those people so easily. Yeah, maybe there's chlamydia help groups or something, you could find them, but it's going to be a lot trickier, isn't it? Yeah. Cool. So that is basically all you need to know. You've got why you do it from the heart, the benefits you offer, who you offer that to, then you know where to find them. And then you've got your style, you know, your point of view and your style. I've got my style of teaching embodiment. If you say study with Wendy Palmer or Strozzi or who else teaches embodiment, Stuart Heller, they've got a different style. It's not better or worse, it's just a different style. Okay, so people that like jokes, people that like intensity, they come to me. Other people might like it slower or drier or whatever, they go to someone else. Yeah, that's enough to think about, isn't it? I think we need a break. Let's take a 14-minute break, and please do step away from your computers, lie down, go for a walk, masturbate, have a shower, whatever, stretch, because I want you to actually get out of your head a little bit, because I've just given you a shitload of information. So take a 14-minute break and actually just like let it process through your body, okay? Yeah. Okay, I will see you on the other side. Go away. Like in Israel and in Russia, I'm from an Irish background. I spent quite a lot of time working in the Netherlands. Different cultures have different attitudes to money. Yeah. The go-to phrase for Chinese New Year apparently is, I hope you get rich. That is quite something culturally, right? Now, this is back to the stuff around the family stuff. So your family could be like that, or they could be like something else. Okay, so what did you learn from your culture about money? Let's put that in. What did your culture teach you? And if you could like type your culture there, that would be great. So like, I know this subculture as in New York's not California. I know it's complicated, right? Like New York's got an attitude towards money and California's got a different one, right? But if you put in there like maybe one culture that you're kind of part of your background, Scottish, definitely an attitude towards money there. So if you could put the culture and the attitude, I'm kind of interested in it. Slovenian, you have to earn money. Someone else, it doesn't make you happy. Some cultures are very quiet around money, others not, you know? Conservative Irish. Israel, what's the Israel one? You have to work hard and save, and you won't have any money anyway. France, countryside, have to preserve it just in case. Okay. Can't buy friendship, so money doesn't matter that much, right? You can't buy everything with it. Okay, socialist Finnish. Okay, there's a definite attitude towards money there. We have to be fair. We have to share it around. Farming. Okay, so there's a subculture there. Yeah. Save it because you never know what's going to happen. Let me just ask you a simple one then. Who comes from what they would call a scarcity background? So this comes up when it comes to food. Yeah, when I go to Israel, I put on like 5 kilos every time. Like my friends there are some of the most loving, nice people. They pick me up from the airport. They drive me straight to their mum's house, who then feeds me. And there's no choice in it, okay? I can't be like, oh, I ate on the plane. No way I'm eating on the plane, okay? I go to their mum's house. I'm going to get force-fed hummus and an intravenous drip. It's, there's this sense of like, we have to feed you. That's how we find safety, you know? So money's like food. It's related to deep senses of safety and belonging. Like if I don't have enough money, I won't belong to my group. Or if you're from a working class background, if I have too much money, I won't belong to my group. Does money make you safe? Or maybe you're from a Russian or Ukrainian background. Money's dangerous, right? Because Stalin killed all the people with money. If you had an extra cow, you could be killed. Yeah? So very different backgrounds. How is this impacting you now? This is a lived embodiment. Are you able, let's all try these embodiments because this is not just my words in theory. Are you able to be generous? Marketing is based on that. Try that one. From here, yeah. Some cultures real generous. Yeah, give you everything they've got. Even if they're poor, they're generous. Okay, but can you organize money? Who's good with that one? This is the womb of money. Can you kind of take care of it, manage it, organize it? This is my weakest one. And what about receiving money? Lean back, palms flat, palms like this, if you can see that. Are you able to receive money? Try the body actions. The body actions really help. Who here has trouble asking for their money to get paid? Like to tell their students this is the cost of the course? Okay, let's do a little bit of centering around that then. Let me give you a very practical skill, then I'll go back to the theory. Breathe. Feel your feet on the ground. Let your belly be soft. And then tell me the price of your course or your class. Yeah, so out loud, say that'll be 15 euros. That'll be 5,000 euros, whatever the thing you sell costs. And I want to go on. Ayelet, do you want to come on camera and do this? Are you willing to be a... Shalom.
Hello.
What do you sell?
I'm selling the key to yourself so you can control your life.
Okay, and tell me the price.
It's 600 shekels for a meeting.
Okay, and how was your breathing when you said that?
A little stopped, but getting better than before.
Yeah, it's improving. So feet on the floor.
It is improving.
Breathe, say ah.
Ah.
Don't push it out, let it out. That's very Israeli, by the way, to push it out. Let it out. Ah. Tell me the name of someone you love, like a child or a grandparent, or someone you adore.
Noah.
Noah. Oh, that's beautiful. Different voice. Okay, so say Noah again.
Noah.
Tell me the price again.
600 shekels, 600 shekels.
Tell me in Hebrew.
600 shekels.
Okay, say Noah.
Noah.
Tell me the price again in Hebrew.
600 shekels.
Oh, you are fixed. Okay, round of applause. Good work. So there's actually a couple of ways we can play this. One is to say the price and then feel, does it feel good? All right, this is one way to do pricing. There's other ways, but one way to be pricing is like, you know what, am I undercharging? Am I overcharging? Yeah, but from a centered place. And seeing if we can say our price as an act of service, an act of love, not as I'm trying to get something, I hope I don't get caught, I'm ripping them off, oh my God, I gotta be stressed about this. I'm dirty because money's dirty and Jesus and Buddha didn't have any money, so I can't have any money, you know, like whatever, right? So, yeah, interesting. Breathe. You want to try that once more? You can do it without the camera on. So say the name of the product, say the name of someone you love, say the name of the price of the product. Okay, how was that? I'd love to hear from a few of you in the chat. A little bit of embodiment training. Wouldn't quite be a Mark course if there wasn't some embodiment training, eh? It's quick, huh? You saw it, Ayla? What did that take? 1 minute? She might have to practice it a little bit in front of the mirror or whatever, but she's basically already gone from like here, you know, to here, like way up. Big smile, nice to see. Seems to work. Yes, don't believe a word I say. You just put your prices up. Okay. Yeah. The first time I told like a corporate client, that's like £1,000. I like couldn't breathe, you know. Some of it's just practice, but adding the body really helps. Adding the body. Changing the frame is also helpful, that you realize that you're giving a gift. You know, if you're not sure if you're benefiting people, ask your clients. Say to your yoga students who are regulars, they keep coming to your classes and they're not fucking idiots, right? So ask them, why do you come to my class? What do you get from it? That's going to do two things. One, steal their language. Use the words they use for the benefits. They're better at the benefits than you are. You're all about the features, right? They're going to tell you the benefits, okay? So like Maria, you can do this with clients, people you work with, yeah? It's going to be much clearer from them than you. We're two in it, you know, it's very normal, Maria's thing, we're two in it. Second thing is that you can, as well as hearing from them, you emotionally land that you benefit people. Let me give you the example of romance again. Who here is a really good lay? No, that's too crude. Who here is a really good partner? So you're just a good husband, a good wife, a good boyfriend, a good girlfriend, whatever. You're just a great, you like, a couple of you are in the same room, you're like, oh yeah, okay, him. If you're really secure in that, you don't have to beg, right? It's like, no, they're lucky to have me and I'm lucky to have them, but we're both lucky. You see? So it's the same thing when you know your product, your service is really good, because lots of people have told you and that's emotionally landed. You can go, well, why would I be nervous selling that? Why would I be nervous asking for money about that? Make sense? Okay, back to a little bit of theory. What did you learn so far then? What have you learned about marketing so far? Put in the chat so far. Yeah, good mum. That's another example, Val. Like, your kids are lucky to have you as well as you're lucky to have them, right? So the sandwich, the idea of meeting needs. Yeah, okay, pricing. You're not putting a price on your creativity. This is the wrong way around. You're putting a price on what someone is willing to pay for it. The idea of value is bullshit. Like, a football player isn't worth 2,000 nurses. That's insane, right? If we look at it from the value. But if we look at pricing simply as a practical thing that the market determines, it's not moral, it's not fair, it's just practical. So the pricing isn't about what's fair or what's right. It's about what you can charge practically. Now, you may have, like me, an ethic where you want to then make it accessible. You want to give people discounts, or you want to, give freebies away, right? But that's a different ethic. First thing to establish is what the market will pay. Yeah, it's not what you're worth. People say, you hear people, either I'm not worth it or I am worth it, so I won't take that price. It's not about that. It's like you're in the wrong territory. Get over yourself. Absolutely. Fit versus persuasion. Great. Yeah, if you're not selling as a Jedi, you let the Sith take over. It's a moral responsibility to get good at marketing if you're an ethical person. Marketing is an act of generosity, fit and benefits. Also an act of play, an act of spiritual practice. Cool. By the way, did you like the comedy clip? I just wanted to play something a bit different, a bit funny, like a different vibe. I've never done that before, so I felt a bit edgy, like, oh, what if people think that this is, get complaints or something? Yeah. It's like, I do care what my customers think. It's not about not caring, but ultimately I still need to be myself. Does that make sense? That's the sweet spot. It's not just like, fuck you, I'll play Ronnie Chang if I want to play Ronnie Chang. There has to be a listening. Alrighty. You remind me of Vicky Gervais. I'll try not to be too insulted by that. Okay, on brand. That's the thing. When people say on brand, that's the fit. Yeah, the fit between everything. So there's a consistency, there's an integrity to that. All right, a little bit more theory. We don't need much more theory. The heart, coming from the heart. People notice that. It's like, let me stay with the dating example. Have you ever been asked out on a date by someone who really wanted to get to know you? And it feels good. Even if you're married, you're not interested, you're gay and they're not, it still feels good, right? You're like, wow, okay, thanks for asking. And have you ever been asked out by someone who just wants to use you for your body? Doesn't feel so good, does it? Feels different. Because one, they're treating you as a human being, and the other one, they're treating you as an object. Just give me a wave if you've had that unpleasant experience at some point. As a man, you generally have it less, but you still might have it. Yeah. Okay. So the same is true for sales. If someone's trying to build a relationship with you because they think you're potentially a good fit, that will feel nice for both people. If someone's just trying to use you to make a quick buck, if you're embodied, if you're in your body, you will feel it and it won't feel good. Okay, so this is, the more embodied people are, the more you definitely have to do this, just practically, but there's an ethical guide we have within us. The body's an anchor for this. Okay, let's look at niching a little bit. I love niching. So Tad Hargreaves, really good person in this space. His brand is called Marketing for Hippies. I recommend him and a few others, Mark Silver, a few others. He talks about niching. A niche is your place in an ecosystem. So what I'm going to do now is show you some different brands. I'm going to break you into groups, and I want you to see the niching at work. There's one by my students. One of my students is Erica. She has Your Right to Be, embodied coaching for women who are too nice. Who does this appeal to? Give me a wave. Maria, Eleanor, Terry, yeah. Okay, so you know straight away if that's you. Yeah? Ranko goes, that's not me. And a niche immediately should do that. Make sense? It should immediately tell you if you're in it or not. Yeah. Some of you already want to sign up for her course. Just hearing that, right? Who's like, I really want to look at that website. What's the address? Just from hearing the title, because it's such a nice niche. Another one I'm going to show is Blue Box Consulting. This is therapy for geeks. Who here is a geek? You go to Comic-Con, you know Dungeons and Dragons, maybe you watch Star Trek. Any geeks here? None? One or two? Brian, you're a bit of a geek. I'm a bit of a geek. I play Warhammer. Any other geeks? Give us a wave, geeks. Laura's a bit of a geek. Yeah, look at her. She's got face paint on and pink hair. She's probably a geek. Okay. So this is a great therapist that does therapists and therapy and yoga for geeks. So she does yoga dressed as R2-D2. All right. She does Lord of the Rings yoga. She says her website's beautiful. It says everyone needs a sidekick. She frames therapy as having a sidekick. Fucking genius. Make sense? Most of you aren't interested in her site, but Laura's going, just give me the URL already. I want to have a look. Okay, right? Like Laura's excited. Look at Laura's body. She's like, show me it, show me it. You can see her moving. She's like, animated. A good niche should do that. It's like a turn on, right? It's like straight away, like, yeah. How do I sign up, right? Or, you know, this is, if I said Ranko, there's a therapy site for men where you don't have to talk and it's run by a martial arts guy and you don't have to talk about your feelings to do therapy. What do you reckon? Look at him. He's just lit up. He's smiling. He never smiles. He's like, yay, right? No, that's not true. So you do smile. So like Ranko's, that's a different niche for him. The key thing is, what's the problem you solve for who? The problem is being too nice. Erica works with women, not any women. See if you can figure it out from her website. Sometimes the niche is explicit. Like I work with women who are too nice. Sometimes it's implicit. It's in the pictures and the colors and the word choices, right? Like the fact that Laura's wearing makeup in a certain way, you know, she's got a face paint today. You know, that if she was to have a website with that picture on, that would niche. You are niching. Yoga teachers, you think your yoga's for everyone? It's not. Okay, it's probably just an ill-defined niche. If you think your work is for everyone, it's for no one. All right. Yeah. So this is, it takes a certain amount of courage to have this specificity, but it's useful. Okay, I'm going to give you 4 sites. One is our embodied yoga site. We deliberately go for yogis who are not wankers. Okay, wankers is actually very clearly defined by my marketing team. A wanker is a British English term for a jerk. There are 4 types of jerks that we don't allow on our courses for embodied yoga. They're very clearly defined. See if you can guess them looking at the site. We deliberately put heads on spikes. What is a head on a spike? A head on a spike says, don't come here if you want, unless you want your head chopped off. That's the provocative way. Erica doesn't do heads on spikes because she's working with nice people. She does the towards way. Yeah. A good website should be for your niche should be a massive turn on to your niche and leave everybody else either cold or actually disgusted. Like I should look at the geek site as a sort of not that geeky person and just be like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, you might even look at it and go, this is ridiculous. You know? So good marketing is about being divisive and about being hated. I know, nice people, you want to be loved. That's not what marketing's about. Okay? You'll be loved by some people, but it's not even about that. Okay? It's about being really clear who's the good fit for you. Yeah? All right, so I'm going to put the websites up in the chat, and I would like breakout groups again. And in the breakout rooms, pick one of them. So Your Right to Be is the nice one, EYP training is my yoga one, COVID Calm is for doctors, so that's an example of a more mainstream one, and Blue Box Counseling is the geeks therapy and yoga. Okay, so Steve can make new groups, people can make some new friends. And let's give people 5 minutes. It won't be long enough to sort of look at it in depth. Just pick one and have a look at what makes it niched. Yeah, why is that a niche? Cool, Steve.
Maybe a touch of rearranging if only 2 people join your room, but.
Oh.
Was the recording?
Nah, don't record this. Just remember when we come back. Gandhi's cup of tea? Tina, I know your real name. What's Gandhi's cup of tea, Tina?
It's hi, Mark. I'm renaming. It's a yoga studio whose account I use.
Oh, okay. I was just curious. It wasn't a.
It's a cool name, isn't it? Yeah.
How's things with you?
Awesome. I'm excited to do the new sort of specialized 2.0 circle, and I'm trying to take some of your advice on board. By the way, I think this is the best presentation of Mark I've seen. Loving it.
The best
Really
what?
awesome.
Feedback. What? Okay, feedback is fine.
Great.
What do
And
you
I've
like
done
about it?
I've done a few in the past. It's this is like your supreme authority. It just shines through. It's just really awesome. And again,
Oh, thank you.
you know, a few years ago, it was your words that, you know, hey, it's fucking selfish to not share your gifts with the world, really resonated and was sort of the catalyst for me to start putting myself out there a little bit. It was awesome. So
Okay.
just awesomeness. And it's getting a great response. But I'm trying to think how we can, like maybe like embodied yoga flow for people who don't like yoga. You know, it's like who's the, anyway, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, how niche do we want to go? It's hard.
Well, you've sort of got a choice. You know, some people you would need to educate before you can offer, and that's hard work. So the lowest hanging fruit are the, actually I've got a model for this. In terms of your marketing, you've got a choice. People that don't think they've got a problem, like I'm not stressed, right? People that have got a problem, they know it can be solved. Like, yeah, yoga can help with that. People that know you, people that trust you, okay, and then people that actually commit to doing it. So the further down you go on that, the easier it gets. So people that say don't know that yoga is a good thing, it might be hard work to educate them, right? Might be better off working with people that already have a sense of it, yeah? It's like a nice coffee, Laura. I think I should chat to Laura. Laura, where are you in the world?
I am in Montreal.
Say that again.
I am in Montreal.
Montreal, enchanté. And a hammock having a coffee. Looks like a nice life you have there.
It's a tea actually, but yes, really a nice, lovely day. It's 2 days. We are good temperature in Montreal. Last week it was frozen, so we enjoy it.
Nice to meet you. Who else is in the house? Cara, are you any relation to John Tute? Is he any relation to John, the Kung Fu teacher from London?
You've heard of the word shoot before?
There's my friend John Tute is a very senior Kung Fu teacher who lives in London.
Oh wow, okay. No, I'm not related. But you're a fellow Irishman.
I am. My family are anyway. I think I'm a plastic paddy, you know, immigrant family. So I related to some of the stuff about immigrant families on the comedy about that sort of go-getter, achieve something, make money. I think a lot of immigrant families have that vibe, you know.
Yeah, cool. Nice to meet you.
Mm.
It's a really interesting lecture or
Cheers.
talk.
And is it Jens? You a Dutchie?
Hello?
Hello. How you doing?
Ah, it's me. Okay.
Hello.
Sitting on the balcony watching your conference again. Yeah, Germany. It's a bit cold evening, but nice, fresh air. Enjoying the birds flying around. And yeah, on the way to build up my yoga business.
Welcome. Okay, Steve, call people back, please. Okay, welcoming back. Feel free to unmute yourself. What have you seen about niching? Can I see? Anyone want to say hello? Just unmute yourself. Can they unmute themselves, Steve? Yeah? Yeah, anyone got an insight about niching? Unmute yourself and say hello.
Hi.
Hey.
We were looking at the COVID comm, and there's an area where you know, for the marketing, where you literally put like, who should be here? What is this? Right. So just like very straightforward.
What you
which
will
I think,
get. Who is it for?
yeah. And, you know, also just the wording of like practical, no nonsense for, you know, people in the healthcare industry who are just needing to kind of get straight into it and don't have the time for all the frilly extras that sometimes we add in. Just like straight to the point. Let's get in it.
Because they're busy people, and it's like, this is who it's for. This is what you're going to get. And addressing some of the fears they may have around sort of being too fluffy or too new age or something like that. You know? So it's no swearing, no jokes, no unicorn jokes, like, because doctors can be quite conservative. So I'm, you know, even though I want to be authentic, I'm also not, when I'm working with doctors, you know, I put on a shirt, I don't go full into some of my humor, for example. Yeah. So it's probably why I wouldn't work with doctors all the time, because that would feel restrictive if I had to do that all the time. Yeah. Okay. Did anyone see the Women Who Are Too Nice one? Erica's site. Anyone have a look at that? Laura, did you have a look at the geek yoga and therapy one?
No, I looked at the COVID comm and the other one.
Oh, okay.
But I was with my group. We went along with looking at the same thing.
No worries.
I
Anybody
looked
look
at the Two Nice Women one.
Okay, how was it?
It was awesome. Very straightforward, very clean, simple sentences, very simple pictures with images of women who were doing things that didn't seem so nice. Like being, like standing in their power, I would say. So yeah.
Yeah, so it was aspirational. It's like women hitting pads and stuff, right? In one of our courses. And did you notice that it wasn't just for all women? If you had to guess, what kind of women is it for? Not just nice women, but also slightly hippie women. So the branding is quite soft. The colors are quite a certain way of doing things. And in the branding is she wants to work with people who are alternative, but not like super crazy alternative.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an implicit brand.
I could actually see it appealing to something, to have women break through the stereotype of what society has labeled women to be. So
right. So that's part of it, right?
Yeah.
Right, that's part of her offer is like, hey, you've been, you know, society's told you to be this way. So it's women who are actually wanting to break free of society's mold. I mean, if a woman were to come along and say, hey, you know, I'm just a woman, I do what I'm told, and, you know, I think what society wants of women is perfect, and I don't have any problem with that, you're not her customer, right? She's women who are nice, and it's causing them problems, or else why would they spend money? Remember the problem thing, okay? She could be very specific about the problems as well. So what does too nice mean? It means putting other people's needs first. It means not being able to have boundaries. It means, you know, she could get very specific as to what that meant, right? And put that in her literature. Yeah. Okay, so I think you guys are getting the basic idea that niching means you can be more appealing. If you're in marketing on the internet, which a lot of people are right now because of COVID, this is even more important. If you're the only yoga class in town, you can just be yoga studio. Okay, if there's 5 yoga studios, you might want to be Ashtanga yoga. Yeah, so it has a certain demographic, certain appeal. Yeah, if there's 5,000 yoga studios, which is effectively the position we're in now, you need to be Ashtanga yoga for Latina single mothers who are busy but are free on a Tuesday, right? And I'm exaggerating slightly, but there needs to be a hyper niching essentially. Okay, or else how do you stand out? Like, who here could recommend Erica's website to a friend? You could say, look, I know someone who's too nice and I can recommend them. Great, because there's a niche, right? You can say, like Natalie can say, hey, my friend Jane, she's too nice, I'm going to send her that link. And it's easy to recommend someone because it's clear who should be in it or not. Equally, like, I hope you wouldn't recommend me to all your friends. I hope you would recommend me to certain kinds of friends. Sometimes I come with a warning label. It's like, look, Mark's really good, but you need to know that he might play a video and he might make some inappropriate joke. And some people are going to say, great, I love that. And other people are going to say, that's not for me. And that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Cool. All right, the niching slide, someone's requesting.
Mark, Just getting a few requests. Are you able to improve your lighting in any way? The light dark
It's
contrast?
funny, this time of day gets a bit funny. Like, that's like bright in my eyes. Is that better?
I don't think there's any helping it.
Tell you what, I'll put the curtain and I'll do the electronic light. Thank you, Steve. How's that? Yes, no, maybe? Good enough? Okay, yeah, it was a bit dark. All right, so niching, super helpful. Tad Hargraves is your man for that. He has a whole course called Niching Spiral. His brand is Marketing for Hippies. What is it? Marketing. Who's it for? Hippies. That's what a niche is. All right? It's very straightforward. Good example of a niche. The last model you really need to know here is a sales funnel. I think of it more like a relationship funnel or a trust funnel. Yeah. So people are asking me about, should I use this system or that system? Well, how do you build relationship over time? So in my own system, who here listens to my podcast? Listen to my podcast? Listen to my podcast. You're missing out, the Embodiment podcast. Who here gets my newsletter? All of you, I would say. You will get my newsletter. If you don't, you will soon. Okay. Who here follows me on Facebook? The brave. Okay. Instagram. More the yogis. Okay. So this is my ecosystem of connection. All right. Not only are you connected to me, but I would like you to connect to each other. This is why I like it when people do the embodiment circles or they join the Facebook groups, whatever. You know. So I'm an influencer in that circle. You know, there's an ecosystem going on there. There's also a progression of trust. First date, second date, third day, fourth day. I talked about this earlier, yeah? So the progression of trust you can think of quite systematically if you want. Basically looks like this. Someone doesn't know you, they need to be aware of you. Yeah? So someone who's aware of you needs to think you're relevant. Like, is this interesting to me? If I see a thing called pregnancy yoga, I'm probably not interested. Yeah, it's not relevant to me, even though I might be aware of it. I've seen the sign up in my yoga studio. Okay, can I get engaged? I don't like email capture as a word, but I think of this as consent to connection. Permission marketing would be a nice way of saying it. Yeah, that's the official term. So when one of you says, yes, you can have my email, I trust that you won't spam me. Yeah. Or when someone says, let's be Facebook friends, I added a few of you earlier actually, let's be Facebook friends, I want to stay in contact. They're giving consent for connection. Does that make sense? So those of you who are worried about interrupting or being pushy or spammy, you don't have to. You've agreed it. We agree it. You can unsubscribe with one click if you change your mind. Yeah. So once you've got that, and that's really the key to this, like email lists are central to most marketing. Social media isn't reliable. I would swap, if I had to choose, all my social media, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everything, versus my email list, I would keep my email list. It's far more reliable. Far more people are going to see it. Now, I've got students who make £5,000 a month from Instagram and only have Instagram, but that is very vulnerable. Email's much harder for someone else to take away. Email is a very long-term thing. I don't see it going anywhere. Social media comes and goes. Yeah. Email way more taken more seriously. The open rate's way higher. You know, I can expect a 25 to 30% open rate on my emails. Facebook, I have 5,000 friends. I post something, only 100 see it. Okay, so email is the key one I would say for permission. Depends on the business, but for most people, yeah. Once you have people that are giving you permission to stay in contact, you then need engagement. So this is why we do free events, right? It's not cynical. It comes from generosity, but it also comes from, I want you to be engaged. I want you to develop trust. Yeah. Basic trust. If this is your first date with me, you have probably gained or lost basic trust. It's not bad if you've lost trust. Remember, this is about the fit. We're choosing between us. Yeah. Because I can't interview all of you, I have to kind of make jokes to do what I do to show, look, this is my style. Those you have basic trust, you're far more likely to buy something from me in the future. You'll be getting my email maybe for a few months. Maybe you signed up on the Embodied Yoga Summit and you went, oh, okay, this guy seems okay. And, okay, I'll do that. I'll give that a go. It's free anyway. No risk. You know, why not? Give it a try. Good first date. Coffee, you know, half an hour. No big deal. Okay. And now you're at a point where you might go, you know what? If he launched a course, I might get it. You know, if it's $50, I might buy it. you probably at this point, if this is your first time you've met me, probably wouldn't have the trust to sign up for a £4,000 course. And you shouldn't. I don't want you to, right? Because you could be a nightmare. I want us to be a good fit. So like, I'm always amazed when people sign up. Like, Ranko, how long did you follow me on Facebook before you came to one of my courses?
Years.
Like 8 years or something, right? You were a Facebook friend for years. And then somehow you got on my newsletter list, and eventually I was teaching in Slovenia, and you went, fuck it, that's just around the corner for me in Croatia. And you came to the workshop, okay? Yep. So that's a long-term relationship. I only want to be in long-term relationships with people I like, yeah? Now, I don't want to have to marry Ranko. I don't have to be best buddies with him. But like, I went for lunch with him in Slovenia. It was nice. It was chill. It was whatever, right? So I do want customers that I can chill with. I do want customers that I feel safe with, if you want to use trauma language. Yeah, that I can be myself with. I can make a joke and he's not going to report me to the American Social Justice Police or whatever, right? Okay, so that's who I want as customers as well as friends. You don't have to want to be best buds with all of them. You don't have to be like, let's get married, but you need that basic respect and trust. Okay, so this takes time. Now, low trust cultures, traumatized cultures, it takes longer. Okay, some of you it's a little quicker, but it shouldn't ever be too quick. When people are buying, you can ask them eventually the committed buying. Yeah, like I'll buy a bigger course or come up for a longer thing. And I go, well, what's possible here? At this point, I'm talking community. So for me, the people I'm like, if you notice, there's a few people I've said hello to in the breaks and stuff. They're people who are in my community. They're in a community that I'm part of. Yeah, there's people that I'm just getting to know that have come to a course. I go, you know what? Let's invite them into something deeper. And maybe they can't afford our biggest course, and that's fine. The reason I don't like the funnel as an analogy is because it's like you have to get everyone down. I don't think that's the case. Some people financially will never be able to go there. Some people just practically, but that doesn't mean they can't be part of the community, right? In another, I think maybe a better model, and if you've got another idea, let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I think sort of almost concentric circles is more how I'm thinking of it now, or some sort of ecosystem is how I'm thinking about it. Yeah. So this is really what we're doing with a marketing funnel, or a trust funnel, a relationship funnel, a commitment funnel. It's all the same thing. So you need that again. What do you need again, gents? Put it in the chat. I'm not psychic. Yeah. Okay. So this is everything you need to know. You need to know the why from the heart, what you're selling, who it's for. When you know who it's for and how you're doing it, that's your style, your point of view, right? Then you can figure out where they are. Are they on Instagram? Are they at conferences? Are they reading magazines? Once you know that, you know marketing. Then you gradually get to know people. You offer them something free, something low risk like this. Yeah. You offer them better and better things that you keep giving them value. Just be relentlessly helpful. That's the key to marketing. Just, I think one of the things I got from my dad is generosity. And I think that's probably, I've got many faults. I'm deeply flawed as a human, but generosity is a strength. And that's probably been the most useful thing for me in marketing. Is I naturally love what I want to give more I do away. But when I first started giving away videos on YouTube about embodied leadership and embodied coaching, people really didn't like it in the industry. They were like, but this is secret. You should charge loads of money for this. I was just like, nah. And people said, oh, no one will come to your courses if you give it for free. I was like, let's find out. You know, here I am 10 years later, probably one of the most successful people in the industry. Yeah. Through giving stuff away. It's kind of counterintuitive, right? Spiritually, it's not. Spiritually, that makes sense, I would say. Any of you have had any kind of spiritual training, I think it makes sense. But from a Sith point of view, it doesn't make sense. Sith marketing people just get confused by Jedi marketing. They're like, but why are you being generous? Why are you getting to know people? You know, why are you listening to people? I'm like, because it works and it's nice. Right? There's one of those few instances in life where there's a strong alignment between what is ethical and what is effective. I'm not saying Sith isn't effective in another way, but I'm saying this works. If anything, I would say it's getting harder to be Sith and easier to be Jedi because of the internet. Yeah. Laura keeps nodding in a sagely way with that face paint on. It's like my sort of witch guru says yes. You know, yes, I approve. Wonderful. Elena's brought a friend in. Hello, Elena's friend. Okay. Questions. We have time for questions, and I'm going to coach someone a little bit as well. So let's hear a couple of questions, and I'll do a live coaching demo. Change your life. Yeah, the secrecy thing's really common in a lot of countries. Like this comes from scarcity again, right? And, you know, maybe I've been a bit of a sucker with that, and sometimes I've given things away a bit too easily. Certain cultures are a bit steely, yoga included, actually. Yoga teachers aren't very good at crediting, I find. Martial artists, much better. Okay, if you can cater for any audiences, how do you pick one? 3 criteria. There's only 3. You love it. Okay, you really enjoy working with that group. Yeah. Second one, you're really good at it. And to be good at it, you also need authority that we talked about with that group, credibility with that group. Yeah. And there's enough of them that you can monetize it. That's it. 3 criteria. This is the Akagi thing with the circles, the Venn diagram. Yeah. And sometimes you just pick. It's not, remember, this is, your niche isn't like everything in your life. It's just the business. Like, stop trying to make your business like make you spiritually complete. It's like trying to make it's like marriage is great, but it doesn't make you spiritually complete. You can't meet all your needs from one person. That's psychotic. It's the same with a business. So sometimes you just pick, right? You just go, you know what, I'm really good. Like a student of mine's a yoga teacher, and she had issues sleeping, and yoga helped her to sleep. So she went, you know what, I really like that. I'm passionate about that. I'm just going to pick that. I'm just going to do yoga for sleeplessness. Great. No big deal. No stress. Right? Sometimes you just try things. I really think it's worth not trying to be perfect, not trying to work this out up front, but just going for it, and then gradually over time, you know, getting better, finding, it's like you narrow down. You have to date a few people before you get married usually, right? It's like that. It's like try 4 different types of yoga classes, offer 4 different webinars. See what people like, see what you like. Another one is the avatar. Who's your favorite customer? Like if I look at all 126 of you, clearly some people have left. Okay, that's fine. I can go, who is the person I really want to work with here? It might be a mixture of people, right? It might be, you know, a little bit of that quality from Laura, a little bit of that quality from Brian, a little bit of that quality from Nikki. So I can go, what are the qualities that I enjoy here? Is it the sense of humor? Is it the liveliness? Is it the feistiness, right? So we can have a psychographic as well as a demographic. Or you also notice the demographic. You just might go, you know what? I just love working with teenagers. Something about teenagers. I just light up when I'm doing that. Your body is your guide, right? You don't feel tired. Do I look like someone who's worked a 12-hour day right now? Maybe a bit. Probably not too much, right? You're energized by it, okay? You don't feel fake. Being fake is exhausting. Yeah. What gives you energy? There's a rightness. It's like, how do you know you're in love? You just fucking know. It's a rightness to it. But sometimes it's narrowing down, okay? You know you want to do yoga, then you want to do yoga with old people, then you want to do yoga with old men, then you want to do yoga with old men who are conservative, whatever. Yeah, you get more and more narrow. Okay, so this is a bit of an artful experiment. Don't try and work it out too much. Okay, who wants to work with me? Put your hand up electronically. I will pick someone. Electronic hand putting up, please. I want to give everyone a chance because I can't see you all. You know how to put your hand up electronically? Varys, because you were in Game of Thrones, I am going to pick you, and you were top. Can I see you? Where are you?
Hi.
Say hello. Hello. I'm trying to find you. I can't find you.
Hello.
Hello. There you are. Hello, Varys. It's nice to see you.
Hi.
Where are you in the world?
I'm in Berlin.
Excellent. I go there often. A very particular niche of embodiment. How can I help?
Well, I kind of do many things. I am a dominatrix. I'm a tantric masseuse. I'm a photographer.
Cool.
I'm an artist.
Cool.
And I'm
Okay, many
into
talents.
magic and the occult and embodiment. And I
Okay,
want to know.
what do you want? What do you want?
I want to bring it all together, and I want to start working together with people who are more in my own community. And I also want to give workshops.
Okay, so there's a few different things here. General for everyone. Often niching is about bringing things together, okay? But not always. It's about bringing more of your personality or more, more of your talent. So it's like, okay, I'm a dominatrix, but I'm into, I just make it up. I'm into kink, but I'm also into consciousness. So I want to do conscious dominatrixing. Okay, and I'm political, so I want to bring social justice themes into that. Okay, so that's often how people niche, is they bring more and more of themselves into something. However, I would say that trying to combine everything isn't always the best strategy. So sometimes we just pick something to pursue. Like I want to go into this, I want to pursue this. So this comes back to like, what do you love? And you said your people. Who are your people you want to work with? Let's talk about them. Tell me the people.
I want to work with queer people. I want to work with women. I work a lot with men, particularly older.
You can't work with everyone. What was the first one you said? Queer people?
Yes.
Okay, what kind of queer people? There's a lot of queer people in Berlin. So what kind of queer people?
I guess creative, artistic, magical.
Okay, magical. I like magical. Magical, creative, queer people. Okay, what's the main problem you solve for those people? There could be 100 things, but is there one that you go, right, that's first on top? So magical, queer people, and what's the problem you solve for them?
What do I solve for them?
Yeah, like why would they give you their money?
I allow them to have experiences that open their mind and their body and their sexuality.
What does that give them?
Gives them pleasure.
Okay.
Inspiration.
So there are two different things. So it could be as simple as you need niching around magical queer people in Berlin, helping them have more pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Could be as simple as that. And then all the ways you do that become your angle on that, right? Mm-hmm. I'll give you an example. I signed up for a weight loss course aimed at middle-aged women who eat chocolate. But the reason I signed, it sounds crazy, right? I'm not their niche, but here's why. Their method was embodied eating. That's my jam. Their point of view was perfect. And I phoned them and said, listen, I'm not really a woman. Can I still sign up for this? The website doesn't really appeal to me because it's not designed for me, but I like what you do. So the result was weight loss. And the thing that they were doing it was my style, my point of view is embodiment, right? Does that make sense? So is there a particular point of view or a particular angle you have on pleasure for queer women that could be a kind of unique thing for you?
I guess holistic, and I see myself as someone who brings together, these different elements that's kind of able to maybe tickle out more of you and see more facets of you than perhaps another practitioner.
Great. So that's the advantages of the method you use. Yeah, is that there's a particular combination that's the special sauce. This mixture of magic and this and that. So that becomes your angle on it. That differentiates you from other people out there might be surprised, but I know there's quite a lot of people doing workshops with queer people in Berlin around Tantra and things like that. It's a crowded market. Yeah. So you need that particular angle on it that makes it your special sauce.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Is that helpful?
That is helpful, yes. Yeah.
Okay. And what's one barrier you're facing right now?
Well, I guess two barriers, I would say. I feel like...
Most important one. Just tell me the most important one. You got like 10 minutes, okay? So just tell me the most important one.
I'm used to marketing within, I guess, like more the realm of sex work and charging those kind of prices where the prices are very set. And now I feel like an imposter and I don't know what to charge.
Okay, great. So the challenge is, how do I know how much to charge?
Yeah.
Okay, the good news is you don't have to worry about that. So that's your customer's problem. Okay, so your job is to set pricing and keep raising it until they no longer pay it. Okay, it's not your problem. It's for them to decide. absolutely arrogant to decide if you, oh, I get to decide how much is fair for you to pay. They're adults, they can decide. Right? Your job is to convey value, to convey the authentic, real value that you can give. That's your job. So your job is to communicate as honestly and powerfully as possible how much value there is to your work. Their job is to decide how much to pay for it. Right? Like we did an online day, Resilience Day, and we charged, I think, like £99 for the package. Hardly anyone bought it. And we were like, oh, okay, fucking never mind. The next one we charged 30 quid for. Loads of people bought it. We're going to try 50 quid next time. See if that goes, right? So we're just trying to find the point, right? So your job is to convey as much value as you can and then see what people will pay. And if you want to make it cheaper, you can. Yeah, that's your choice. But at least you know what the market's willing to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. It was a bit speedy, but I hope there's something of useful there.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, everyone. Thank you, Varys, for being vulnerable. It does take vulnerability to bear our businesses and our, you know, fears that come up. And if we were to dig into that case, we'd probably find there's all sorts of personal depth stuff and embodied stuff going on. You know, I won't expose Varys anymore, but that will be going on behind the scenes there. If we were doing private one-to-one coaching, right? There'd be other stuff going on about, you know, pricing and the good enough and the value of things, particularly given some of the area that she's working in. There's very likely to be stuff there, yeah? Very likely. Let's all take a breath together, if you're willing. So breathing in. One more, breathing in. And the last one, breathing in. Okay. So the content that I've given you today, I would say takes about 2 years to digest. It took me about 10 years to learn. I have what's called a Jedi course after, I'm not selling it, after EFC, the Embodied Facilitator course, which again, you can't do till next year. Steve, for example, is a Jedi. So a Jedi is someone who I take on a 2-year journey to support them in their marketing and their psychology around this. This is not a small thing. So if you're beginning today on the sort of path of the Jedi, the path of the ethical marketer, be gentle with yourself, guys. Be gentle. Nobody's born like this, like crazy good salesman, unless you're a psychopath, okay? Like I had to learn this stuff. Like how long would it take me to learn German? Never, I'm never learning German. How long would it take me to learn Spanish? 3 years, 5 years? Yeah? Okay, it'd take me a while, wouldn't it? How long would it take me to learn Dutch? Impossible language, no. So if I wanted to learn a language, it would take a few years. That's how I would think of marketing, as a language to learn. In terms of resources, there's a lot of good free stuff out there. So there's no upsell here, by the way. At some point, I may put a course out on this in the future, but right now I'm not trying to sell a particular thing. YouTube, if you Google purpose black belt, you will come up with many videos on life purpose and a load on marketing. That was a course I used to do years ago. These are 3 names I recommend: Tad Hargrave, George Cowell, and Mark Silver. I'll put that in the chat just so you can copy paste it. They all have hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of videos, and they're all ethical, hippie, nice people. Okay, they're super chill, lovely people, green, friendly, queer friendly, all the rest of it. They're nice. They're nice. Okay, much nicer than me. There's loads of podcasts with those guys. If you want something a little bit more mainstream, Seth Godin is very readable. And JC, not Jesus Christ, Julia Chanteray. For spiritual marketing, you want to go to the Buddha, not Jesus. The 4 Noble Truths, by the way, is a marketing strategy. Yeah. Do you know you have a problem? Do you know there is a solution? Do you know that I have the solution? Here are the details of the training program I will sell you for a bowl of rice. The 4 Noble Truths is marketing. Great marketing, actually. The Embodiment Conference will have an element of this. And as I said, my podcast has things going on. All right. Any questions on sort of resources or finding out more? The hardcore that have made it from 2.5 hours. that too long for Zoom? It used to not be too long. Now I feel like it might be too long. What do you reckon? 2 hours better? It's borderline now, isn't it? People have changed. I think 2 hours might be better next time. All right. Final questions on resources, on anything else? What's the ideal first buy point? Depends on your customers. An amount that they feel is something, but not a lot. So, for example, I sell £10 ebooks. That's a good first buy. Yeah. Or I should sell this. There we go. Buy Embodiment, Mark Walsh, by $12.99, available at Amazon.com. There we go. That's a good first buy in terms of price. My humor has not waned. Yes, because it's my personality. My wife will tell you, even late at night when I'm tired. Okay, great. What was your top insight day? Don't run off just yet. Just give me another 5 minutes and you'll land this much better, yeah? Top insight today. Top insight. I'm not going to give you any more content. Let's chew on it a little bit. Maybe close your eyes, go to your body. But it can be fun. It doesn't have to be awful. If you just reframed marketing, that is a great phrase for a start. One of my students said, Mark, what I learned about marketing from you was to do some. All right. So how did they do some? Well, first of all, they had to be motivated, right? They had to think it wasn't evil. So it's like, great. Okay. Find your viewing your way into it. The sandwich or the play or the tantra, you know? Who's a tantrika? Any other tantrikas like Varys? This is the real deal. Money tantra. My precious. Oh. Fall in love with marketing. That's a great coaching question. Everyone sit with that question just for 30 seconds. Close your eyes. How can I fall in love with marketing? We've been talking about romance a lot today. How can I fall in love with marketing? How can I make marketing play? Great. Some of you need to work on your niche. There's a TADS course, Niching Spiral is good for that. Say hello from me. Cool. Final questions. Tad Hargrave, that was Niching Spiral, someone's asked me. Thank you. Okay, why don't we sit quietly just for 1 minute to let it all land? Otherwise, there's this tendency to like rush to the next thing. I think most of you had 8 o'clock in your diary anyway, right? So you've got a sort of gift of 25 minutes. So why don't we just sit like for 1 minute quietly? Okay, then have a little look on the screen of everyone who's here. I've just seen my friend Dana in Utah, my friend Ivan I talked to earlier. There's people that got coached, people that were in the background, people that had comments. Hello, Sarah Martin in Austin. Nice to see you too. Kind of just thanking people for showing up and giving it a good go. Wishing people, hope you get rich. Hope you get really fucking rich. Look at everyone on the camera and tell them that. Chinese accent is not necessary. Okay. Good. Money stuff brings up a lot. So do take good care of yourself. It does bring up sort of existential themes and shame and all sorts of interesting things for a lot of people. So, you know, if you've got a bit of time now, if you weren't expecting to be free and for another half hour, maybe go for a walk or have a lie down or do 20 minutes of yoga or meditation. Just take care of yourself because it does bring up a lot. We have loads of stuff coming up, don't we, Steve? I should probably tell people what else is happening. With what's going on. We've got a course on being nice tomorrow with Erica and me and Vidyadasa. So nice people. It's not too late to get on that. I forgot that was on actually. And then we have days on trauma, a free day on trauma coming up. We'll be doing crowdfunding soon for the conference, which I really hope you can support. That would be much, much appreciated. It's a scary thing, the conference. I've got to raise $150,000. So we'll have, there's a free centering classes, coaches stuff. There's all sorts of shit coming up. You'll all get my newsletter. You can all see on the events page all the other stuff that's coming up if you want in on any of it. Cool. Steve, anything I've forgotten?
Other than the fact there's a shitload of one-day events probably every day of the weekend for the next month and a half.
Organised by the legend that is Aussie Steve. Can we give Steve some love for being in the background and doing the technical stuff? Okay. Good. This has been nice. I think it's time to fuck off, don't you guys? We good? We done? You satisfied? Yeah? Got what you came for? Okay. Go home. Come on. Go home. Go away. Can you unmute everyone, Steve? Let's do a mass unmute and goodbye. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much,
Bye.
Mark.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Andy and Robin. You're my favourites. At least in Edinburgh.